What is up, IDP Army? Merry Christmas to you and yours. I am here in the Ozarks at my parents' house. Got a little bit of internet access, so here I am with you today. Going to do the second to last live stream of the year. Probably one of the last really meaningful ones. I mean, a lot of people are kind of out of the playoffs already. So if you're here with us, though, just hanging out, appreciate that. If you need help getting those start sit questions in, that's what we are here for, and we'll help you do that. So we'll go ahead and throw this intro up, and then we will get started.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Yo, what's up? Who all's in here? Hit me with some questions, comments. I see you, Lunch Table Legend. Good morning, brother. How are you? Got another one, Alexander 302. What's up? Let's get a W today. Yeah. Cat's out of the bag for me. I'm out of the playoffs in all my leagues. I got stomped last week in all the leagues I was in. So I'm playing for third in some spots right now. It's tough. It's tough out there. You can't win them all. But life goes on. What can you do? But I'm here to help you all bring home some gold this year. Last year I got several golds, dynasty and redraft, and just kind of all over the place. This year, it's not my year. I still love my teams in dynasty though. I mean, I'm stocked up in a lot of spots. I punted running back a lot this year, but looks like we got Bomber in here. Let's see if we can pull him in and see if we get the audio working for you. Can you hear me now, bro?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, good. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulties there.
What are you wearing Broncos gear for? I'm gonna have to kick you off the stream. Jeez Louise, what is all that? What is that all about?
You knew.
You had a good Christmas?
Yeah, it's good.
Nice, good to hear it. Good to hear it. Let's see, we got some questions coming in. NASCAR Fantasy Live, what's up, bro? Good to see you in here. He says, what's up? With Josh Allen out, is Dwayne Smoot usable as in the next man up? I think that's riverboat gambling there. I don't know if I'd call him the next man up. I don't think he's necessarily going to be any more valuable with Josh Allen out, if that makes sense. So if you weren't super excited to start him already, I wouldn't be like going out of my way to call him a 1-for-1 replacement. That makes sense. What do you think?
Yeah, I think if anyone's gonna benefit from that,
would it be the Chase on Clavon? Is he kicking around still?
Yeah, I think he's probably going to be the one that would benefit the most from Allen being out. Smoot's probably going to get some added opportunities, but there's a reason why these players are not getting the opportunities already, is that they're not as good. So
exactly. So even if they do get the opportunity, the odds that they're actually going to pull it off is, less than. I want to apologize quickly now because I am out here in the middle of the woods. The internet may cut out on me. We literally lost power last night for no reason whatsoever. So it's just like that sometimes. So I apologize if I do dip out. I will be back. I promise. All right, Alexander says Hunter Henry or Cole Kmet, 1 point PPR. What do you think?
Henry there.
See, I'm thinking the same. I expect this game. Well, he did a lot. He got quite a few targets last week. I mean, he didn't score anything, but I think he put up like 11, 12 fantasy points. He gets plenty. The thing I like about Kmet is he does get usage in the Bears scheme. He hasn't done a lot with it, but Allen Robinson being out, I mean, it's pretty much just Montgomery, and then him, as far as pass catchers, and Mooney. Mooney gets, the other guy, but Hunter, I think people will be surprised if they looked at some of the increase in Kmet. Hunter Henry's scary because, the volume as far as passing for the Pats is not super high. But the flip side of that is he's probably their best pass catcher. So, even with low volume, I mean, we saw what he did last week. What do you have? Was it 2 touchdowns last week, or was it just the one? He had 2 touchdowns last week.
Who, Henry?
Yeah, he had like 25 points.
Yeah,
so
he had a pretty solid game.
if anybody on the Patriots is going to blow up, it's Hunter Henry. So I like him over Komet as first ceiling play. So John Palacio, my guy, if I fuck that up, I apologize. Merry Christmas, fellas. Right. Palacio. All right, here we go. Right to it. So I got Buffalo's defense, but I'm thinking about putting the Chargers defense again against Houston. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's going to be more upside there. Although we did see Mac Jones kind of crumble a little bit last week. But the thing is, the Bills' defense isn't the kind of defense that, makes people crumble necessarily. Jordan Poyer is definitely a playmaker. Today was why. I mean, they have playmakers, but they're not necessarily going to completely overwhelm somebody. I haven't seen them do that this year.
But Joey's out, isn't he?
Yeah. Was it COVID or the concussion?
So Bosa's got COVID and he's not vaccinated. And then Derwin James, there's another question down lower, but that could affect some playmaking ability of the Chargers too, because he's dinged up. I mean, I think he's going to play, but I don't know what percentage he's going to be playing at. It's not going to be 100% because he's got that hamstring. So
yeah, this next question is a fun one.
It's good. It's going against Houston, so
yeah,
that's a good streaming option for special teams.
Right. I'm probably gonna play the Chargers, like you said, just because it's Houston and Nwosu. He's been doing some good things there. Their backup linebackers haven't been too bad. So, all right, this is a fun one from Tyreek Ellis. He says, "Morning, fellas, Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams?" The answer is both. All right, the answer is both. Figure out a way to put them both in your lineup, Tyreek, because there isn't a right or wrong answer with these two guys.
They're both high hand.
They're both basically running back ones. Neither of them is a bell cow. But I mean, in today's NFL, they're both putting up RB1 numbers, basically, especially for fantasy, when they're out there essentially useful. Now, I'm not true RB1 numbers. I know they're probably like RB18s or like 20s or whatever, but they're still doing work, and that's, in the situation they're in. So if I had to pick, if push comes to shove, I've been very pro Melvin Gordon, and I still am a Melvin Gordon stan till the bitter end. Yeah. But Javonte, I mean, he is a better, more gifted, younger running back. So if you want to play that game, especially with their time being literally almost 50-50, I would take Javonte. But I mean, if I had that option, but I don't, because I have Melvin Gordon on all my teams. Because
I've got a mixture.
Yeah, I'm playing Javonte all over and daily. I play him a lot.
Yeah.
So, can I trust Derwin James this week? Trust is a 4-letter word spelled with 5 letters. So, I don't know. I don't know. Do you think Houston? Do you think Houston
were limited last week?
Do you think Houston could sustain drives that are going to be, enough to farm points from? I don't
think so.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I'm not sitting Derwin for, nobody. He's having a great season. Yeah. But if I have inclination like this, if I'm questioning it and I have options that I like, I'm not scared to play other guys.
Yeah, if you've got another solid starting safety or anything like that, I think the floor is going to be higher there for someone like an Adderley if he's playing. If you've got him or something like that.
John again says Kendrick Bourne, New England, Josh Palmer, LA, or Reynolds, Detroit is my second flex. Deep league, not the best options I know.
I mean, that's just an indicator of how this season is going these past couple weeks.
Yeah.
That's a valid question. If you were to ask that question week 1 or 2, he'd be looking at you like you're crazy. But Reynolds has been getting a lot of the targets there in Detroit. So I think I'm starting in one of my leagues because I am that strapped at wide receiver. But I think he's a viable option. I think he's also, if you do,
you have to remember though, isn't Jared Goff is out this week for Detroit. So you're getting a limited wide receiver, and we're going to get a more limited quarterback. So I'm probably going to lean into Josh Palmer here. He's kind of shown that he can be something. Whenever we were missing Mike Williams earlier this year.
Yeah, because Williams is out. And Allen's dinged up?
I don't know. No, Allen. I think Allen doesn't carry a designation this week, but I know that Mike Williams is out. So
yeah,
that's where I'm going to lean. NASCAR Fantasy Live says need to start 2 linebackers: T.J. Edwards, Jermaine Pratt, or Ernest Jones. Ooh, interesting start questions. Jermaine Pratt has, been doing okay lately.
In Wilson's place.
Who does Cincinnati play today? I can't remember off the top of my head though.
They play the Ravens.
Is it really the Ravens?
I think.
I like that line. Oh, it is, because I remember seeing some stuff about Chase versus Baltimore. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And that's another thing too, like with Cincy going up against Josh Johnson, who's quarterbacking for the Ravens this week.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, I like Jermaine Pratt. There again, the flip side of that would be, are they going to be able to sustain drives? Yeah. But there's also, there should be a considerable bit of turnover upside, right? So
yeah. And then I like TJ Edwards. He's just been having a good tackle floor every week. Mm-hmm. Ernest Jones is kind of that new kid on the block who's been coming in the past few weeks with some good performances, but I just I don't know. TJ Edwards has been kind of sustaining that longer. I think he's more trustworthy.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. Edwards has not done anything wrong, so to speak. Right. So. Sorry, I am messing with some stuff.
So Edwards and Pratt. If you've got a flex, though, Ernest Jones in your flex.
Man, I suck. My rankings the last 2 weeks, I've definitely not been as good as they were to start the season.
It's been hard just to kind of keep track of all them.
Yeah, and it's the same thing that got me last year. Towards the end of the season, the COVID stuff ramped up so much. I was leaving guys in all the time that were out, and especially sometimes you're not seeing these guys get reported out. And on the back end of Fantasy Pros, like, they're not very good at keeping
I didn't get any sort of notifications at all that Kari Willis was out last night.
And so basically it happened,
I was starting him in a league, and luckily the commish I caught it like right at the beginning of the game, and he was able to let me swap it in because he was like, I didn't see anything either. So
that's good. That's lucky.
Yeah, it's a free league, so it's not a big deal.
Another Jermaine Pratt question here. Jermaine Pratt or Kazir White. Already played Campbell. Between those two, I'm probably going to go White.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
he's been playing really well ever since they kind of figured out their linebacker situation.
Jonathan Renteria. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not as smart as I look. Pick one: Matt Milano, Baron Browning, or Jonas Griffin. I'm pulling Matt Milano. Come on now.
Yeah,
that's easy. That's a layup. Yeah. Milano gets blitzed a lot. He can cover really well, and he's got a solid tackle floor. He's on a defense with a lot of guys that are better than average, but don't get a lot of love. He's one of those guys. Definitely better than average.
And I think this game with Buffalo and New England is going to be a just dogfight. Like I think it's going to be really good. I think Buffalo's
going to be.
They're going to come out pissed off about what happened last
both
time.
Sides, both sides.
Make a statement. And
offense and defense are both going to be revved up today. I think because we're at that time of the season. What do you got to lose?
Because this is for the division, so it's
this is
I
it.
think Milano, he's going to
be Bills. Go Bills. Hey, do me a favor, everybody that's watching, listening. Appreciate you. Go thumbs up the video down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your league mates. We appreciate it. That would do a lot for us. And, to compensate for the minimal we do for you. All right, what we got? For Tyreek, he said, okay, then play both the Broncos, RBs. Would you sit CEH or Henderson? I'm sitting Henderson. I don't know why people play Henderson.
I'm sitting CH.
Crazy. I'm sitting Hendo. That's me.
No, that was just a dig at the Chiefs.
I get it. I'm sitting Henderson.
Yeah.
I have no inclination, especially with Akers being back and with Sony Michel. I mean, Sony Michel is getting 20-plus touches 3 weeks in a row, 20-plus carries 3 weeks in a row. Show me another running back not named Jonathan Taylor that's getting that kind of work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not just going to pull him out of the lineup. And I mean, even with Henderson in last week, I mean, he caught a couple of passes. He did a couple of cute little things, but it's just like he's not built like that. You can't hand Henderson the ball 20-plus times in a row, 3 weeks in a row. He wouldn't be in the lineup right now. So
he'd been nursing an injury.
Yeah, your touch upside limited. It's all limited with Henderson.
Yeah.
My thoughts. Thoughts on Ronald Jones today? I don't want to play him. I mean, if I have to, I will, but I'm not dying to. He's a replacement level running back. Now, that being said, this team is going to be different than normal. We are missing Mike Evans. We are missing Chris Godwin. Pretty rare situation, and we're missing Fournette. So that means that they're going to have it's going to be Gronk, AB, and maybe Ronald Jones,
Yeah.
But we've seen this Bucs team be two different things. The Bucs team can be focused on one player, and kind of funnel everything through them for a game. Or we've seen them be very much spread the wealth, and there's a lot of wealth to spread. I don't want to be the guy caught with Ronald Jones in my lineup when they decide to just throw the ball to Gronk 11 times and AB 9 times.
Right.
And they hand it off 11. You know what I mean? I'm fine with Ronald Jones. I'm much more okay with Ronald Jones putting up 25 or 30 points on my bench where he belongs, generally speaking, than I am getting 6 points from him in my lineup knowing better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my thought process. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That's just what I would do. Time will tell. We'll know in a couple hours. Jonathan Renteria says it again. Renteria. Dude,
Renteria.
Renteria. I swear I'm part dyslexic, straight up. It's Craig Reynolds or Tyler Johnson. Or wait, see if Gibson sits and take a chance on Patterson.
I haven't seen anything about Gibson sitting at all. I think he's good.
I've seen some stuff about him being but I don't know if that's just...
He played through it last week, so...
And he looked fine. I'm probably going to just wait it out on Gibson. That's what I would do. Tyler Johnson, Craig Reynolds. I mean, Craig Reynolds, he did blow up this last week and all that.
He's wondering if Gibson sits to take a chance on Patterson. I wouldn't do that either. I
don't know. I might, because McKissick's still out too, right?
Yeah, he's on IR.
Yeah, I mean, they there should be volume there.
Yeah.
Patterson, didn't he score last week?
He had a little goal line. Yeah. Vulture.
Get a couple of those in there.
I was pretty upset about that one.
Week made. All right, Matt Higman. See, that's a nice, easy to pronounce phonetically, simple name. Matt Higman, what's up, man? Amir Abdullah or Latavius Murray?
Ooh.
That's tough. I'm not playing Latavius Murray. Well, I don't know, though. That actually has a lot of layers to it. You know what I mean? It has a lot of layers to it because with Josh Johnson coming in, they're probably going to lean on the run, I imagine, a little more than normal. Didn't they just sign Le'Veon Bell, though? Or who did that?
No,
that was the Bucs.
The Bucs did.
That was the Bucs. Another reason to be a little scared of Ronald Jones.
Yeah, because I think they activated him, too, this week.
Oh, man. Latavius Murray or Amir Abdullah.
I got to imagine the Ravens are going to rely on the run a lot this week.
That's kind of where I'm thinking, too. Latavius hasn't been getting volume, but I just don't see a world where they can't lean on the run at least a little. They need to slow the clock down this week.
Yeah.
So,
Amir Abdullah isn't. I mean, regardless.
Yeah, they give all the touches. He's still on the Vikings, right? Amir Abdullah? Okay, so they're gonna give all the touches to Madison anyway. Yeah. I'm going Latavius.
Yeah.
Higman with the IDP question. Marcus Davenport or Montez Sweat. Bro, it's Montez Sweat. You saw him come back last week like he never missed a beat.
Yeah, I didn't even know he got activated until I was watching the game. I'm like, oh, wait.
He's so good. He's so good.
Because I think the only team
you want a hot take? I think he's better than Chase Young. There's a hot take.
I mean, you've been saying that all year.
Shit, yeah. I said it last year, too. I said the problem with Montez Sweat is the rest of his fucking career, he's going to be compared to Chase Young. And they're always going to find a way to make Chase Young the better. But, Montez Sweat's right there. And I'm like, is it really like that, though?
I mean, Jonathan Allen might even be better.
We won't kick old Montez. We won't kick old Chase Young too much while he's down.
Right.
John Palacio.
Palacio.
That
one I know. That's Italian. I can do that one.
Nice. What do you guys think about the Philly backfield today? I have Howard and my opponent has Miles Sanders. I was thinking Howard might get more work since Sanders had quad injuries and didn't practice. Yeah, but Sanders didn't practice, but he was never even really given an injury designation. I think that's a full send on Sanders this week. I played Jordan Howard last week in some DFS. He had a couple of decent runs, but they're not going to give him volume as long as Miles Sanders is putting around. That's kind of what they showed last week because they had every opportunity. You know, Miles Sanders broke off a couple of runs, and it's like, okay, they'll pull him out. He's a little gas, whatever. Nope. They stuck him right back out there. Jordan Howard just standing there, twiddling his thumbs. So I am, Howard. That's too risky for me this week, unless I have to do it. You know what I mean? That's my thesis. Ang Buxton says choose two: Logan Ryan, J.C. Jackson, Marshawn Lattimore, or Trevon Diggs. Well, Trevon Diggs is a lock. Now I'm probably playing Logan Ryan.
Yeah, that was going to be my go as well. I think Trevon Diggs has proven me wrong a few times, but it's just hard because you could get that week where he only gets a couple points. But I don't think it's going to be this week. He had a decent game, I think, against Washington a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
he's a pick machine. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets number 11 today.
I think he's returning punts now too. If you get punt return yards, so
that's some points right there. So Logan Ryan, Trevon Diggs, are we in agreement?
Yep.
All right. Brian Williams says, do I play Kirksey, Mentor, or Parsons in my IDP flex? Figure the other two have higher floor. Bro, you have to play Parsons. He's like he's the number 2 linebacker on the season right now. He might be the number 1 linebacker on the season right now.
He had a stinker last week, so he might have dropped a little bit.
But still, he's got upside. He's got sack. He's got a big play upside, and he's got a crazy high tackle floor for a guy with that kind of big play upside. So Parsons, is Kirksey back? I thought he was on IR.
No, I think he still has the COVID designation as of this morning.
I don't really want to play.
Oh, he's back from the COVID.
Okay, then play Kirksey. He's been great. All right, lunch table legend makes it back around. Boys, are C.J. Mosley and Denzel Perryman playing this week? I like Jermaine Pratt, Jalen Kearse, and Quan Alexander as good pivots who can't play. What are your thoughts? I think those are good pivots if those guys don't play. Let me look here, see if I have any updates on.
I don't no update on Perryman yet. Mosley, I think, is
still questionable. I mean, technically, we should probably have inactives now.
Mosley,
that's a noon game. Is he playing?
Yeah, Mosley's playing, but Perryman is still on the fence.
I think those are all good pivot plays. If I had to pick one, Quan Alexander has been pretty impressive on the field lately. And that says Jalen Kearse, but is that meant to be Jayon Kearse or Jaron Kearse?
The DB, is this a?
Yeah, he said it's a flex, I think, right? No, it says. No, it doesn't say that. Bro, you got to mute your Discord back there. It's driving me nuts.
Oh, me?
Yeah. I can't leave my Discord on because it's just like constant.
I thought I turned it off.
And I can't find it. I never know where it's coming from. That's what drives me nuts because I have like a million
Discord's
servers.
Gone.
Yay! No, you're all good. Jaron Kearse. I would play Jaron Kearse.
Yeah.
Assuming that's who you're talking about, if I had to pivot. Varon, yes. Lost Landon Collins. Not sure if I can start Derwin, although active. Should I start Jeremy Reeves instead? No. I would still start Derwin James. That's just me. Lunch table legend, non-IDP question. How dare you? How dare you? RB, we'll start one RB. I already started. Chase Edmonds, Sony Michel, Darrell, Justin Jackson, Rashad Penny, or Devonta Freeman. Ooh, those actually aren't some are some bad secondary running backs. It's funny this time of the year, like those are all guys that are like really great plays right now. Justin Jackson, Rashad Penny, Devonta Freeman. Like, what world are we living in right now? What year is it? I like Justin Jackson. Austin Eckler
Yeah.
like Justin Jackson. He gassed him up a little bit, but Rashad Penny has looked really good. That being said, Pete Carroll's such a dweeb the way he uses running backs. Like he has Dallas Goedert all season. He's had Dallas Goedert for multiple seasons. Guy never gets any work. And then now he had like a random touchdown last week. And like the next drive, he was out there like the whole drive. I'm like, this never happens. I was like, it's just like Pete Carroll is such a nothing about what he does makes any sense. So
No,
I think Rashad Penny is probably one of the better players of this list that's available.
But he's a wild card.
But he's a wild card right now. Justin Jackson or Devonta Freeman, I'm a little worried about that team overall, though I do think they will lean on the run. Again, with the backup quarterback, I just am a little bit concerned. So I would be split between Sony and Justin Jackson. And Justin Jackson looked good last week. I mean, I don't know if you guys actually watched any of that game. I mean, he was bursting, like legitimately through holes. He was breaking tackles. I like Justin Jackson. He offers more skill base wise than Sony Michel, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he can actually hold up to a workload. So it's between Justin Jackson and Sony. I would go Justin Jackson, then Sony next. That's me. What do you think? Agree, disagree?
Yeah, I think I think that's the play there, Justin Jackson. He showed that he could
do everything you need him to do
last week when he was.
How are look at this next question. NASCAR Fantasy Live says DJ Woonham, Joe Tyrone, Shoyinko, Sheldon Richardson, Owe, Malcolm. Shoyinka. Sorry, I suck.
It's okay.
Or literally, I suck so bad. Or Malcolm Brown at the DL position. I like Woonham a lot. Vikings managed to get sacks. He had 3 last week, so it blew up. He's still on waiver wires in some of my leagues, if you can believe it. In Dynasty, I actually Snapchat a picture, or it's not Snapchat. I screenshot a picture of one of my buddies yesterday in one of our leagues. He's got like 4 empty bench spots, and I was like, "Why don't you go pick this dude up, put him on your team?" I was like, "I'm about to, but I'm like out for the season. Sorry." So I'm like, "You go do it. Like, get a little juice on your team this week."
I like Woonham there too. Owe is a decent pick in there. He kind of hidden in that list there. I think he's got a solid thing, but I don't know if he'll.
I'm between Woonham and Owe.
Yeah.
And man, I think I'm gonna go Woonham just because the team is kind of surging right now. They're really trying, like, not team surging, but they really want to win. You know what I mean? Like they're really putting it all out there. Baltimore, similar situation, but I mean, they're kind of just one of those teams. They just kind of cruise control of the playoffs every year. So they're not like, I don't know. I don't want to say they don't have their heart and soul in it, but I'm like, if somebody's going to give 110% and somebody's going to give like 99%, one of them's going to give 110 today,
Yeah.
And Owe will give 99. And not that that's wrong or right. It's just that's how I kind of see it going down.
I agree.
How have things been going over at the old Dynasty Nerds? Oh, wait, I got to talk to this guy. Good morning. Good luck, everyone set with Jordan today. Yeah, how's old Kyler Murray doing these days? I see that the old Twitter world, pretty much everybody hates him now. Weird how, Jordan, once again, you can put down on written in stone old Jordan ahead of his time. Kyler Murray, overrated, not that good. Replacement level quarterback.
He's not as good as Lamar Jackson. My name's Billy.
Wrong.
It's Billy.
Pick one to flex. Michael Carter. We'll slide back up to y'all's in just a second. I gotta throw Billy. I gotta help Billy out now because he needs help. So pick one to flex. Michael Carter, Deontay Johnson, or Antonio Brown. Ooh, that's tough. I like Brown here.
Yeah, I think he's gonna come back and try to prove.
There's nothing. Something. I mean, there are no negatives to playing Antonio Brown. It's either he scores or he won't. But the situation literally couldn't be better for him. So that's kind of where I'm at. Oh, here we go. By the way, he's right. It's Italian. Pronounce the name perfectly. There we go. One more time.
Palacio.
Sorry, John. I'm Midwestern. So that's my ethnicity. My heritage. We say y'all a lot. All right, Tyreek Ellis, OBJ or Hollywood? Ooh, I'm going OBJ. Now, I'm a known OBJ hater and all that, but I mean, the passing volume the Rams have right now is just obscene. I mean, everybody that's a wide receiver is basically putting up 7+ points. You know what I mean? Cups. Oh my gosh, massive bald eagle just flew across the sky right there. That was the coolest thing I ever seen. Sorry guys, it literally just flew right over my house. Like this is what I'm looking at. This is what there's a big old field out there, and I'm really just out here in the middle of nowhere. That was crazy. All right, I'm gonna play OBJ though. Seahawks.
I'm not touching any Ravens receivers today with a 10-foot pole. No way.
Yo, what was that voice, bro? I got voices for days. You should hear some of my voices. I don't put up on the internet, but I got all kind of crazy ass voices for people.
We missed a question.
I'm playing Kyler Murray for Cliff Kingsbury's fault. Shield Kyler! Protect Kyler at all costs! Ah!
Yeah, Billy. Well, we just need to get Billy over to sign up at the NFL. I mean, he's a fucking company man. I tell you what. Jeez Louise.
We got we missed
a question up there with Kyler.
We missed a question up top with Glue Sniffer. He was asking about Conklin, Moreau, Seals Jones, or Uzoma.
I'm sorry, Glue Sniffer. I'm too busy making fun of Billy.
Yeah.
Pick one tight end, half PPR. Conklin, Moreau, Seals Jones, or Uzama. I'm playing Uzama.
Yeah.
We big upside. You know what I mean? Seals Jones, I think he's got a little bit of a floor, but his floor is also low. You know what I mean? I think all these guys have similar floor. They do not all have similar ceiling. I think Uzama has the highest ceiling, Conklin second. That's and so I would stick between those. I wouldn't even think about the other two.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to make sure we caught his question before we move too far back.
Blameless Kyler Murray.
It's all Billy.
Hey, Billy, has Kyler Murray ever made a mistake before? Just let me know. Never. I don't know. I don't watch enough football. All right, NASCAR Fantasy Live. I also have a Sean Robinson or Chris Jones. Should I play either one of them over one of them? I will say Chris Jones last couple of weeks has looked good, but I don't trust him. I don't. I mean, I know how he is. He looks good for a big game.
He's one of those frustrating as all hell defensive linemen that just.
Yep. So if it was DT specific, I would stick with him. But if I don't have to play a defensive tackle in a DL spot, I'm generally going to move away from it. So I'm going to stick with Wanham.
Yeah. Wanham also didn't he have like 12 tackles?
He has massive tackle numbers this year, but he's also put up some decent sack numbers too.
Yeah, but I'm saying like for
you know who else is? You know who's putting up I don't know. I didn't look at that. He had a lot. I know that. I mean, he had 44 points. So
yeah, I think he had like 12 or 13 tackles. Like
you know who's putting up a crazy number of tackles this year is Josh Allen from Jacksonville. He's almost got. I think he's got like over 70 tackles or something ridiculous like that. I mean, that's some crazy numbers for a defensive line player.
Yeah.
I mean, usually the only person who gets up around that number is Danielle Hunter or Khalil Mack when he was with the Raiders. I mean, that's been 5 years ago.
Right.
So to get a DL player that's putting up 70 and then can also hit you some sacks, I mean, give you an idea of the upside he has. I mean, that's basically what the sack numbers are 10 or 11 right now, I think, for Parsons, but he's got 70 tackles. So to get a true DL player getting 70 tackles, you know, I mean, that's big.
Yeah.
So don't sleep on Josh Allen. I'm going to talk about him a lot in the offseason for Dynasty because sour taste in their mouth, big upside. Go get him. But we'll stick with what we got now. Logan Life NFL said, need a DE. Pick one. Jalen Phillips, Cam Jordan, Max Crosby, or Charles Harris. What do you got?
Torn between, wow, man.
I like Cam Jordan. I mean, I don't like Cam.
They're all playing well right now.
I'm just going to stick with Cam Jordan. I think he's been the most consistent. He really wants it again. He offers, a lot. He has tackle for losses. Tackle numbers aren't necessarily super huge, but I just feel like he's been the best one this season so far. I don't really want to have any. Like the Dolphins, they kind of rotate their guys in and out, and they're very.
Yeah.
Billy brought this up actually on the OP podcast. I don't know if you guys have been listening to that, that's not on the channel, you need to go listen to the podcast feed, search us, the IDP Army, in your favorite podcast place. Also, if you do listen to that on Spotify, you can now give us 5 stars on there. We'd appreciate that. But Billy brought up a good point about Florio is very much this is my game plan, and this is my game plan. That's it. And he sticks to it. So we don't, with the quality of pass rushers he kind of has right now, we've seen him play some of them more, some less, and it really does kind of depend on how he's feeling. And they're very inclined to blitz other guys too. Their safeties, high blitz numbers. Their linebackers, high blitz numbers. So there's a lot, so the sack equity, the tackle for loss equity, it's not necessarily funneled to these guys setting the edge or these guys holding the line. It's kind of all over the place. So that's kind of my knock on Jalen Phillips at the moment. Max Crosby, if people are still under pressures the way they claim to be last year, apparently he's the best defensive lineman in football. But
he's just
eventually you can't get the sacks. The pressures don't mean as much. People won't say that.
Drew Lock would rather throw an interception than take a sack. So
exactly. So
speaking,
and again, they're probably going to establish the run this week too. So
yeah,
we got a good one here. So I think we decided on Cam Jordan.
Yeah, Cam Jordan there.
Alexander has another one. It says Burrow, Cousins, Ryan, pick one. That's easy. Cousins. If you got a Higgins stack, I can understand it. Essentially, here's Joe Burrow is essentially 90% of what Cousins is for fantasy right now. They're very similar quarterbacks, accurate, good pocket passers. They can scramble if they have to, but that's not like what they want to do. And they're not scared to throw over the middle or to the sideline. You know what I mean? Like, they're just good quarterbacks. Joe Burrow, I get called crazy because I've been on Kirk Cousins for years, since like 2017 or 16 or whatever. But it's just like, if Joe Burrow can mature into the kind of quarterback that Kirk Cousins is, that would be amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it's true.
Kirk Cousins is
so undervalued.
He can win you games too. Like, it's not like he's one of those guys. Like,
he's
not going to lose you games. He can win you.
He's very Tom Brady-esque. If you give him, or even Aaron Rodgers, and people are going to come at me. But if you watch, there are a handful of quarterbacks that if there's 90 seconds left on the clock and they need a score, there's a handful of guys that can 100% take you down to field goal range. And Kirk Cousins is one of them.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it so many times. Drew Brees did the same thing. It's just like, don't leave.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
It is.
People sleep
it's
on
weird,
him
but he's one of those guys in
year.
a 2-minute offense. He just cuts. He just cuts and cuts and cuts, and boom, they're down there 30 seconds left. I've seen Rodgers do it 100 times. I've seen Brady do it 100 times. I've seen Kirk Cousins do it 100 times. Problem is, Vikings have this field goal kicker problem they've had for a while, and they've also had a defense that they'll go down there and literally Kirk Cousins will do that and leave 30 seconds on the clock. Oh, and guess who he's playing? Drew Brees, the other guy who can do the exact same thing, and he just goes and does it. So it's just like, it's not even his fault.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm playing Cousins, my guy. Big mood. Glitter sniffer, glue sniffer. Thanks for the advice. Yeah, happy to help, my guy. Lou Lofton, what up, guy? Good to see you in here. He said, "What do you feel about Joe Mixon his matchup today?" I like the matchup. The Bengals have a good offense, functional team right now. Baltimore's defense is not great, as people kind of just think they are, especially against running backs. My issue with Mixon is I saw him go down last week, grabbing his ankle and freaking out. And now people are like, "Oh, his ankle's fine."
You don't have
Excuse me? Like, he literally couldn't go back in the end of that game, and Samaje Perine had to finish it out. But he's fine. I don't know. I take that more as he will play, but I don't think you're going to get the kind of usage you have been getting. Does that make sense? So that's where my head's at with him. Man, I can't believe it's already almost 11:15.
We got all the inactives coming in or anything yet?
That should have all already come up. I'm not at my usual, setup, so I'm kind of just trying to hang with the people that are hanging with us. You know what I mean? Good times.
It doesn't
good
look
times.
like Grugier Hill got activated with Kirksey.
Grugier Hill got activated.
He did not.
He did not. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Kirksey and Hewitt.
Did, but Grugier Hill did not.
Hewitt, good play today. Okay, I got a question here on Twitter about Jordan Fuller. What do we know about Jordan Fuller?
I like him.
Okay, what do we know about Jordan Fuller today? He was asking, essentially, is he going to get green dot duties today?
Well, he's had the green dot all year.
Okay.
Because they've been kind of figuring out their identity.
So I guess has he been out with COVID then?
Yeah, he was out with COVID last week.
Okay.
So
that's why he's asking.
I think he's activated. Yeah, he's back. So yeah, he's good to go. He's getting you decent tackles, but not a lot of impact plays. I think he's just kind of playing the quarterback of the defense and out there every play. So he's got potential to get something, but
yeah,
he's not gonna get you 30. He'll get you 12.
Hey, whoever's still watching this, go. I sent old Marlon Humphreys a DM this morning. He's got a little podcast he's been doing. I'm trying to get him to come on the IDP Army podcast. So if y'all want to see Marlon Humphreys on here, go at him on the old Twitter sphere. He's on IR, so he actually made a joke about how like that's what he's doing. Basically, he's podcasting now since he's on IR. So he's got time. So go apply some of that IDP Army social pressure. Let's get Marlon Humphreys on here.
Got any more questions coming through?
No, I'm looking right now. But Lofton was the last one we had, so now we can just freestyle beatbox or whatever the hell we want to do, I guess. Man, I'm still tripping about that eagle.
That's
literally just flew like straight into the window and went right over me. I mean, he wasn't like high in the sky. I mean, he was like flapping his wings, basically eye level, coming at me. Crazy.
These past couple weeks have been just maddening with fantasy.
What, with fantasy? Yeah, I mean, I've gotten my ass kicked. It sucks. And it's also annoying watching, I don't know, Twitter's getting back to, I could say Twitter. Most of the fantasy football discourse happens on Twitter, generally speaking. And it's just interesting watching how quickly we're digressing back into the off-season mode of
trash talking.
Just nonsensical stuff. I don't know. Sometimes I think people need to just step back and look at the micro or the macro, All right, we got a question here from Tyreek. Morrow or Everett? I hate both of them. I know that. I'm going Everett.
Yeah. He's at least
Moreau. I mean, how many weeks in a row? I mean, the Foster Moreau's, the chalk was fucking a month ago. I mean, that was Thanksgiving, And I mean, since it was like, oh, he's the chalk, he's gonna be so good, and it's like he hadn't done shit. And he still hadn't done shit. So I'm not in on that.
Everett at least has some touchdown upside a little bit.
Yeah. There you go. JP, great show as always. Hey, appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Tell all your league mates about us. For week this week, I'm having trouble deciding between Derwin James and Jesse Bates. I also have Carlton Davis and Marshawn Lattimore for cornerbacks. Who would you pick? I'm still going Derwin.
Yeah.
Jesse Bates has just been not what I wanted him to be this year.
No.
I think that goes part and parcel with the fact that Logan Wilson was or has been. Now he's been out. But even in that situation, Derwin has been having a better season overall. Definitely has a lot more tackles coming his way. Even with the potential injury stuff, I'm still going to lean Derwin here. Personally.
Are you thinking that he's saying he has to start a cornerback as well, or is that just all the DBs he's got?
I don't know. Well, I guess we can answer it both ways. Between those two cornerbacks, Lattimore and Davis, I'm going to go Davis.
Yeah.
I know Lattimore's been having a pretty decent year this year, but Davis is still, he's basically a safety playing corner.
Yeah. But if it's between those four, it would be Derwin James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D-Law or Chris Jones. That's D-Law.
D-Law. Yeah. Somebody dropped him in one of my dynasty leagues, like when he got hurt.
Dynasty league.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay.
That's just plain silly. We're gonna do.
And I've been weak at D line in that league too, and I'm like, okay, I'll
pick him up. I don't understand that.
I think I had like $5 in FAB left, and I spent it all on him just to.
That's a good pick. I mean, in a startup draft, I mean, he's gonna go in the top 25, 30 rounds. You know,
Yeah.
Still,
he is not droppable.
Brian Edwards just got placed on the COVID IR. So maybe that changes some of my Foster Moreau, just because I don't know who else.
Renfro's taking all the targets.
Yeah, Renfro is already basically all targets. You're right.
Hunter Renfro.
What a weird player. He's one of those guys where I was like, "Oh, he's so good, he's so good, he's so good." And I'm like, "Yeah, his team fucking sucks." Like sometimes it's just like people be like, "Oh, this guy's so good." I'm like, what does it really mean though?
Right.
Like if he's the best, if he's such a good fucking wide receiver, why can't his team win? You know, if you're a true difference maker, that's different. Being good as in accumulating a lot of stats and all this shit, or being a difference maker. Walk off sack, walk off, home run, walk off, touchdown. Can you do that? I don't think Hunter Renfro's got that in him. Maybe he does. I mean, I don't know. In as much that Derek Carr will only throw to him in a walk-off situation, sure. But I don't think he's earning that. You know what I mean? So Hunter Renfro just feels contrived. I mean, shit. I wish fucking Stephon Diggs got as many targets as fucking Hunter Renfro did.
Right.
And they were that easily to catch too, you know. Stephon Diggs did have a season like that a couple of years ago. Low ADOT, high completion percentage. The good old days. All right, y'all. Well, we'll stay on here another 5 minutes or so with you. Answer any more questions you got. Yeah, okay. We got one here from Alexander bringing up Kirk Cousins is the rib thing. He still has Justin Jefferson. He still has Alexander Madison back here. He still has Conklin, who he utilizes well. I mean, Kirk Cousins, his whole career, I mean, he's gotten where he's been throwing to guys that are all – I mean, this is the first time in his career, basically the last 2 years, where he's had all-stars around him. I mean, he got where he's at throwing to Pierre Garçon, 28, 29 years old, Deshaun Jackson, cast off, you know what I mean? Jamison Crowder. The only reason people talk about Jamison Crowder like he's so amazing for the Jets is because he was so amazing for Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? He's made a lot of guys a lot of money. So I'm not worried about him. His rib, none of that. I don't care if Thielen's there or not. Burrow already lit up the Ravens for 45 points mid-season. That is a good point. And if you are wanting to hit that stack, I'm not against it. I'm just saying, me personally, I would play Cousins. I will ride or die with my guys. Cousins has been in my QB1 spot in most of my super flex leagues all season, locked in, and he hadn't let me down yet. Well, he did let me down once, but so is everyone. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let that keep me from playing him. Lou Lofton, Duggar, Ramsey, or Snead. Choose one at CB. Definitely Duggar.
Yeah.
He was on like a 4 or 5 game streak of like 20 plus points there mid-season. That's money in the bank. You know what I mean? So Ramsey, I wouldn't even put Ramsey in the conversation. He's been okay, but he hasn't been even close to Duggar on a game, you know.
Yeah, I agree there. Duggar is the play.
Well, y'all do me a big favor. Go to the IDP Army at the IDP Army on Twitter. Follow that at Semi-Pro Fantasy. Go follow that. The brand account. Follow me at 50 Shades of Drunk. Follow Bomber at IDP_Bomber. Right. All right.
That's
there you
right.
go. Give us all follow. What have you been doing over at Dynasty Nerds?
They got me doing the weekly waiver article over there, keeping me busy.
Are you still doing? Are you doing rankings over there?
I was talking about it.
You should.
So I I've not put together a full list of rankings before, so I'll be probably
well.
That.
The way they have it set up now, they used to be when I first started working in Dynasty Nerds, you had to go in and you had to basically build your own rankings out. Now on the back end, at least most recently when I was there, they have it set up to where when you pull it up, they give you you start with a consensus. So you'll already have something somewhat built out and you get to kind of mess with it, which I remember nobody cares to hear this story, but I'll tell it anyway. So I worked on these rankings at Dynasty Nerds for probably fucking 4 or 5 hours one day because it took that kind of time to get them done. And there was this guy that still putts around the fantasy community, I think, Oklahoma Dougie, something like that. He's a joke. Anyway, he was there too. And so they had us put our rankings up. And so I did. And then the site crashed, and we had to put all of our. It was literally like 2 days after I finished this, and they've been bugging us like, get them up, get them up, get them done. And so I did. And what did he do? I forget exactly what he did, but basically, he never put his rankings up, and he kept saying, "Oh, I'm a ranker at Dynasty Nerd." So there for like 4 months, and then finally, after I did this again, so I did the 6 hours of getting my rankings done, crashed, had to do it again. He's still just fucking talking out of his ass. And then finally they had it set up to like, well, now we have it set up to where you could do a consensus. And so basically like me and the 2 other guys who actually did the rankings had built consensus out. Oh, and when you know it, the next day old Dougie's in there. Hey, look at ball rankings. Woohoo. And I was like, I hate this guy. Anyway, there's a little story for you. Some people put in the work. Some people are hanging out.
Put in the hours.
Yeah.
You take which hours?
Yeah. Samuel Smith says L'Jarius Sneed or Joe Hayden. Ooh, Hayden's been doing really good last couple of weeks. He's, but I think I'm still going to go with Sneed. He offers a lot as far as tackles and pass deflections, and he gets up on the line of scrimmage. He's a lot younger than Joe Hayden. No shade at Joe Hayden, but when your body's gone through the ringer a few times, you can be more inclined to be injured, whatever. So I'm gonna go Sneed here. Ronald Jones or Komet?
I'm going Rojo there.
Yeah, I think
it's
tough to play a tight end as a flex, especially one that's not like a consensus type of upside consensus top 3 guy. You know what I mean? And who's throwing the ball for Chicago this week? Is it Nick Foles?
Yeah.
So BDN. Another wild card for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think I'm going Rojo there.
Yeah, Rojo's the play. Well, we got an off season coming up. I know we got a lot of stuff cooking at IDP Army, at Semi Pro Fantasy. Our Discord's going to get a little bit of an overhaul soon. The Patreon's going to get a little bit of an overhaul soon, just because we're going to add more stuff to it, more features, more products we've been working on behind the scenes. Just kind of waiting for the new year to kick off. Going to try to bring in some more brand ambassadors. We got a few people we're talking to. So yeah, what would you, the listener that are still here, like to see from us, hear from us this next year? Let me know. Let us know. If you're on our Discord, then hit us up, ping us. We appreciate any and all feedback. I actually went and read, and I mean when I say that, I mean that. I have some guys like, oh, good or bad feedback, blah blah blah. I went and read. I hadn't been in our iTunes for a while to see our reviews. And one of our last reviews gave us good stars, but kind of said, some kind of negative things about us, but they weren't like untrue things. So I figured out who he was on Twitter, and I messaged him. I was like, hey, thank you for the honest review. And I was like, I appreciate it. It wasn't necessarily super glowing, but I was like, I appreciate that you told us that, and it's something we're going to work on. So we appreciate feedback, like I said, any of it, all of it. So Justin Jackson or Ronald Jones? Ronald Jones. I'm going to play Jackson still.
Yeah, I think Jackson's a better play there.
Mm-hmm.
I know we just told Alexander 302 to do Rojo, but between those two, that was the right pick.
Oh, yeah. Justin
In
Jackson,
this case, you got to go with Jackson.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess we got one more question out there. We'll take it. If not, we're gonna shut the stream down here in just a minute.
Glad I could finally make it on.
I'm sorry you didn't get on earlier in the season. I mean, things just kind of started happening, and they just never stopped, and here we are.
And I've been busy almost every weekend too, and so it's just been
it's sanity.
Been crazy.
Yeah. Are you gonna win any championships this year?
Possibly. We'll see how this week. I'm in the semis in a couple dynasty leagues, and I'm in pretty good spot so far after the first few games. So
nice.
We'll see here. And then my people I'm playing have had some stinkers, like Myles Garrett dropping 2 points. Help me out.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
I don't knock on wood, but we are getting closer and closer to a defensive player of the year for TJ Watt. So
I think they got to give it to him this year. I mean,
well, they gotta have given it to him the last 2 years too, but they didn't. So I don't believe. I mean, it's
so frustrating.
It's literally going to depend on
Diggs or something.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. It's going to depend on how this game essentially today goes. I feel like, I mean, I say they because it's crazy, but they base this on how the team does too. So like if the Steelers, they're still holding on, but if they can't pull out a win today, I think that's going to hurt his stock. Even if he gets the only thing I can say that wouldn't hurt his stock, like if he goes off today for 3 sacks, I mean, he's literally potentially going to break the sack record this season. And if he does that, they can't keep ignoring him. And I think, I mean,
he'll be breaking it. I know we have an extra week this year.
In 800 snaps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Basically half as many snaps as some of these other guys out here are playing.
Right. Because he's missed, he missed, 2 games this year?
He missed 2 games, and he played 20 snaps or 14 snaps in a different game. And then he came back and he played through. Yeah.
People are going to argue that the numbers are inflated because the season's longer, but no, he's missed time.
100% not. His efficiency is insane. It's through the roof. So.
Yeah, he's playing hurt too, and so it's just.
Yeah, and again, no one talks about that. All they want to do is laugh at the Steelers' offensive line and Big Ben's arm. That's it. That's all these talking heads in the NFL media can do.
I think
I don't like the script.
I think Parsons has a shot definitely at the defensive rookie of the year. He's got, I think, that locked between him and Surtain, but
yeah, they won't give him defensive player of the year.
They'll give him rookie though.
They'll definitely give him defensive rookie of the year. And that whole is Parsons defensive player of the year. I mean, again, you have to look at the NFL as what it is. It's a media conglomerate. Okay, if they can work another Cowboy player from the biggest market team, brand equity, into multiple conversations, that's what they're going to fucking do.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether it makes sense or not, doesn't matter. Again, why do you think Aaron Donald has been talked about so much last 2 years? They still trying to talk about him this year like he's making a difference. He's not making a difference. He's not making a difference. Okay. But they're still trying to be like, oh, look at Aaron Donald, the difference maker. He never makes a difference unless he's playing an old, busted, broken quarterback. Then he goes out there and makes a big difference. Okay.
He has a big.
I said it last year. 25% of Aaron Donald's sack production last season came in 3 quarters against Alex Smith, coming off of what should have been a basically life-ending fucking injury. Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald! Yay! Yeah, LA, good for you. Keep ramping up that brand equity. We get it. Well, some of us get it. But it's just fucking annoying. So,
yeah, is he a really good defensive tackle? Absolutely.
Yeah, he is. I don't want to take anything away from him, but again, is he the best player in football? People say he was the best player in football. I'm like, what are you talking about? Maybe 3 years ago when he had that monster season, you could have argued that. But the 2 years since then that they've basically given him defensive player of the year, or one since then, they gave the Stephon Gilmore 2 years ago, which that was also a complete and total fucking travesty. No.
Yeah.
But again, it's all about market, LA, team, Rams, brand equity, Sean McVay and his fucking $1 million smile, Peter Schrager, who lives up the butt of the Rams. I mean, just look at the fucking auxiliary shit, people. Okay. It's about selling. It's about selling stuff. It's about selling stuff. Okay?
It's always about the bottom line, and so they're gonna give it to the guy who's gonna sell the more.
Why do you think they've been people literally last week before the game? Kyler Murray still has a shot to be the NFL MVP based on what he played like 8 games. I mean, he can't even stay out there the whole season, and people are like, well, he could still be MVP. He's been terrible last couple of weeks. He shouldn't have even been in the conversation to begin with. But why? They wanted to force him into that conversation. Why? Because early in the season, that team looked like it was hot. You know what I mean? That's money. That's money. That's money. That's money. Anyway, you see what the real Kyler Murray looks like the last couple of weeks. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I've experienced it on my team, and that was not fun.
Exactly.
Just one of my teams.
Exactly. Just like the Browns. I mean, the Browns wanted Baker to be so good. I mean, after the year that he came out and did half decent, I mean, his fucking comp was Peyton Manning, people, after his rookie season. Oh, look at all the touchdowns he threw. Only Peyton Manning. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, just listen to what these people say.
Yeah.
It's intentional, okay? They're hyping them up to sell shit. All right, last question, because I'm ranting. Y'all hear me rant plenty. Lunch Table Legend says, still can't find anything on Denzel Perryman. I'm certainly thinking Quan Alexander, Jerron Kearse, and Dexter Lawrence are the best skills fill-ins. I'm definitely going Kearse. He's having a great season. I was big on Donovan Wilson coming into the year because he had some good splash plays at that safety position for them. But Kearse is taking over and he's not letting up. And he's playing very well. So I'm going Kearse. Last question we're going to take. Pick one, PPR. Thielen, Lockett, Waddle.
Waddle.
Easy peasy. Patty.
Yeah, I don't even know if Thielen's playing. And if he is,
and Waddle's just going to get tons of targets. I mean, he's a top 15 receiver as a rookie right now. And just
he's right
not
there.
Scoring touchdowns, not getting 100-yard games either. It's just getting the ball. And they're just going to keep giving it to him. So
I missed him last week for sure.
All right, well, that's all from me. Like I said, to a few people who are still hanging with us, good luck today. Go get a win. Bring it home for the IDP Army. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe to the channel. Do me a big favor. Tell your league mates about us. Go join our sleeper squad too. I posted that on Twitter. They airdropped us $10 last night for Christmas. If you sign up today and verify your identity, you'll get another $25. So you get $35 free money just to go play. Our squad's got 25, 30 people in it right now. They're sharing what they're betting on and stuff. So hop in there. It's a good time. I'd love to see you in there if you're not. So any last words, Bomber?
I got nothing other than let's go out there and win the semifinals this week.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, y'all go follow Bomber at IDP_Bomber. Follow me at 50 Shades of Drunk. Follow at Semi-Pro Fantasy. Thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you soon. I don't know if we're going to do a live stream next week or not because I don't know how many people are going to be kicking it still. So, but if you guys are clamoring for it, we will definitely be here. So until next week, adios.